Shalom, coming in spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Racha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone and to the hopeful elect pushing his word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. This lesson is going to be titled Balance or Balance of Anger, right? Or being slow to anger. But it's basically having a balance over or control over your emotions, right? It's going to be a short one, but important one nonetheless. Let's go into the word balance real quick. Scales, apparatus for weighing by comparison of mass. Balance scales for weighing. So it's referring to like a balance is actually the actual apparatus for weighing things. But that's not exactly what I'm looking for. Some necessary to balance the two sides of an account. No. The meaning, general harmony between parts. Yeah, there we go. The general harmony between parts. Right? And you can still say the apparatus too, because the apparatus, if it's not working properly, it's not balanced properly, then the stuff that you weigh are going to be off balance, so to speak. Or they're not going to be weighed properly. But basically, the one definition I'm looking for is general harmony between parts, right? Let's see what they have here. Okay, even better here. It says 1590s. That of bring or keep in equilibrium, right? That of keep oneself in equilibrium. So if anything, we should be going to the word equilibrium, because that's probably where, there we go. State of mental balance. An even balance or horizontal position, equal, level, horizontal. So this is the better. This is exactly what I'm looking for. Something that's equal, right? Something that's equal. A stable situation in which forces cancel one another. Yeah, equilibrium. That's perfect. Okay. So Proverbs 11:1. A false balance is abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. Right? So a false balance, it's, I guess there's two ways you can look at it, but still the same thing, right? You can refer to the balance as the device that's weighing the product, right? Or or just what's actually being weighed, Nonetheless, they're both off balance. They're both not equal, right? They're disequal. Their equilibrium's off, right? So a false balance is abomination to the Lord. So the Most High calls anything that's off balance, off equilibrium, is an abomination to the Most High, right? So something that's not in harmony, But a just weight is his delight. So something that's just, which is righteous, which is right, is the delight to the Most High. So things that are in balance, some things that are equal, in equilibrium, are just to the Most High. The Most High likes those things, right? Go to 16, 11. A just weight and balance are the Lord's, Yahweh. All the weights, I'll read it again. A just weight and balance are the Lord's. All the weights of the bag are his work, right? So the Most High likes a just weight and a balance, right? That's why I said two, because a balance is also referring to, really that's what it's referring to, because we read it. That's what it's referring to is the actual apparatus that balances the actual weight, right? But the weight needs to be righteous too. It needs to be right too, right? Because if your weight is off, right, then the whole thing is off. And if your balance is off, then the weight's gonna be off, right? So they all have to be in harmony. They all have to be in equilibrium, right? I know back then they had scammers that would scam people. They have a false balance, right? Their balancing apparatus is actually false, like it doesn't weigh properly, or the weight that they have, they'll counterweight it with something else in there, and not tell the person, and it will weigh more than it actually is, right? So it's wickedness, right? And it says, a just weight and balance are the Lord's, all the weights of the bag are his work. Yeah, the Most High is about things that are just, right? Things that are in balance, things that are in equilibrium, right? Most High is about that. He's not about things that are off balance, even though he does orchestrate it, right? But he likes the things that are in equilibrium. He hates the things that are wicked, right? But at the same time, he still orchestrates two sides, right? That's a whole nother conversation. So Leviticus 19 and 35. Ye shall do no unrighteousness in judgment, in meteyard, in weight, or in measure. So I believe I pronounced that right, but I probably didn't.
Strong's H 4060. Midah.
Measure, measurement, stature, size, garment, portion, active measurement, size. So basically like a portion. So ye shall do no unrighteousness in judgment, in portion, in weight, or in measure, right? Just balances, just weights, a just ephah, and a just hin shall ye have. I am the Lord your power, which brought you out of the land of Egypt, right? So he's saying it's basically a commandment. He's saying that you should do no unrighteousness in judgment, in portion, in weight, or in measure, right? Because in judgment you have to be in equilibrium to give the correct judgment, right? You have to be in harmony to give the correct judgment. So that is still a form of balance, right? And if you're off balance, right, or if you're off your equilibrium, you're going to be not going to have control of your emotions, and you're going to get angry. You're going to be quick to anger, right? A man that's slow to anger is someone that's in equilibrium, right? So we're going to go, actually going to go back to Proverbs 16 and 32. He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh a city, right? So he that is slow to anger is better than the mighty men, the strong men. You're better than the mighty, the men that are strong and whatever, because you're slow to anger, because you have control of your emotions, because you're in harmony with yourself. You're balanced, and you're better than someone that can take a city because you can control your spirit, right? Because you got to think about things first, because you can be over righteous in scenarios. There'll be times where, okay, according to the scriptures, you are right, but is it expedient to do this right now? No, it's not. So therefore, you're gonna be wicked, right? And having control over that is better than someone who can take a city, right? Which is heavy. Which shows you how heavy it is to have control over yourself, because it's comparing it to someone who can take a city. Proverbs 25 and 28. He that hath no rule over his spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls. So there you go. So now if you don't have control of yourself, you're like a city that's been sieged, that has been broken down, that has been attacked. The walls are fallen, and people are just storming the city. Because there's chaos when that happens, right? The citizens are all running, the kids are running, the women are running. The men are trying to fight, but not caught off guard. Maybe some of them were sleeping. Maybe some of them were dealing with their women, some of them were eating. And then the enemy comes in like a flood because, and that's just a visualization of, you not having control over your spirit or yourself, right? It's chaos, right? And the last one is James 1:19. Oh, Slakia. Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. Right? And the reason why he said that, because that's kind of like a key to control your anger, really. It's giving you the keys right there. Cheat code, so to speak. Right? Let every man be swift to hear. So quick to hear something, to hear like someone's complaining about something. Okay, let me hear what you have to say. Listen. Okay. All right. Digest what they said, right? Get the information, digest it, come to a conclusion. Okay, then speak, right? Speak when you need to speak, when it's the right time to speak, because sometimes it might not be the right time to speak. Maybe you have to keep listening and keep digesting. Or maybe it's right now I have to say something, or maybe I have to wait maybe like a little bit longer, So slow to speak and then slow to wrath. Then you have to wait because maybe it's not the right time to show your anger. Maybe, maybe it's just not the right time, right? And you should know whether it's the right time or not. If you were paying attention, if you were hearing them out and digesting what they were saying, right? Controlling your emotions, It means slow to wrath is always good because you only want to show your anger when that person or that situation needs a dire need of balancing, right? Like, let's say the situation is getting out of control and now it's time for me to show my anger, right? Or this person is getting out of control. Now it's time for me to show anger to bring them back into equilibrium because they're going too far left, right? Which is why you have to be slow to anger, slow to wrath, because you have to wait sometimes. Sometimes it's not the right time, right? That's like I learned. More I learned in the truth, way more. But I learned when I used to play sports is that timing is key. Timing is key. The right time can change everything, and the wrong time can change everything also, right? If you can do something at the right time, the impact is dramatic, right? And if you do something at the wrong time, the impact is dramatic. It just depends which direction we're going to, the left-hand side or right-hand side. Evil times, good times, because everything's about equilibrium, right? Anyways, the point has been made. I hope this lesson was edifying to the hopeful elect. I'd like to close out by saying, Ka Hala Yahweh, Ba Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba Hashem, Racha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone and to the hopeful elect pushing his word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. Death and destruction to his wicked kingdom, and the 2/3 as well. Kwam Yasharala, Abad, Babal,